And vegetables located on the 37 Federation Road, where you can get so many varieties of vegetables and fruits. And this is the only place where we could get all the needed ingredients for our Kenyan meal, mukimo and chapati. Oh, there she is. Follow me. Hi! I'm good. Great. So this is the place where you're going to get all your vegetables and the needed ingredients. I see. Oh, so should we speak in Twi then?
Well, when you come to Rome, you do what the Romans do, right?
Okay, so start shopping in Twi then.
One edeng, I don't know. I don't know.
You're trying.
Meto pineapple. Well, I don't know.
How many are you buying?
Let's get a ripe pineapple. One ripe pineapple and one slightly ripe.
Okay, see, way back, way so back. Ginger.
Yeah. Can we buy this quantity?
Pumpkin leaves, right?
Yeah, we need pumpkin leaves.
Is this okay? Oh, you need some more?
No, this is fine.
Sure.
Yeah. Cheers.
Okay, so I think everything is done here. We've gotten all the ingredients we need to prepare our mukimo and chapati. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Let's go. So we are back here in the African Pot Kitchen and dinner is about to start in just a little bit. As you can see, Eva is all set to show us the process of preparing mukimo with chapati and beef stew, the Kenyan style. So come with me, let's see what she's up to, shall we? Hello. Oh, there's something on fire already.
Yep. So these are our potatoes. We'll use them to make mukimo, which is one of our Kenyan traditional foods.
Mukimo.
Mukimo.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Particularly from which region of Kenya?
Yeah, central.
It's
central. Traditionally a Kikuyu kind of dish.
Are you from Kikuyu?
Yes,
okay.
From the Kikuyu culture.
So Kikuyus are the farmers, the people who grow the beans,
absolutely,
the peas and the maize.
Absolutely. And it's amazing when you come to Kenya because all this fresh produce is readily available. I mean, agriculture is the background of our economy. Okay, great.
So this is already done. But how long did you cook this for? Is there a time limit to it?
Yeah, 10-15 minutes.
10,
Your
does
potatoes
it have to be
will
very soft?
No, it doesn't.
Hard?
Yeah, like half cooked.
Half cooked.
Because you don't want your mukimo to be too soft.
Okay. So introduce us to your ingredients and then we'll talk about what mukimo actually is.
Sure. Okay. So we'll need the mashed potatoes to make mukimo. We'll also use the pumpkin leaves. These are the ones that we got from the market.
Can I chew this raw?
No, you can't. I can't. Unless you're too adventurous. Well, you can do it though. So pumpkin leaves are actually very healthy. They help lower your cholesterol and they're also rich in iron among other benefits. So we're also gonna mix our potatoes with sweet corn. Or if you have maize, then you could also use that boiled maize. And then we're also going to use a little bit of peas. Yeah, and then put a little bit of salt. And then this will be our blended
pumpkin leaves.
Pumpkin leaves.
Was it cooked before it was blended, or you just
blended
it?
It was boiled.
It was boiled,
absolutely. Boiled for about 15 minutes, and then you blend it to get this kind of a puree. Absolutely.
So you boil the pumpkin leaves before you blend it into this paste. Can you make it thicker than this, or you can make it lighter?
You can, really. When you need to get creative when you're cooking. You really do what you feel. You really do what really inspires you.
Well, after I taste it, I'll know how to get creative next time. Whether I'll make it a little bit different or just the same way. Okay, so with the mukimo, we are using the pumpkin leaves, the sweet corn, the peas, and what else?
and then
this.
Yeah, and a bit of salt.
And a bit of salt. So
basically that's it.
So that's what we're starting with first.
Yeah.
Is there any reason in particular why we're starting with mukimo first?
Usually, I mean, if you can multitask, it's really better that way because you save a lot of time in the kitchen. So we will do, as we work on the mukimo, we'll also make the chapati at the same time. Okay?
Okay. So how do I help? Anything for me to do?
Oh yeah, so we'll start by draining the water from that.
Let me do that. Let me help with that. This is my head.
Yeah, okay. Let's pick one of these bowls. Wait, hold on. Drain a bit from here. So you can drain all the water out. Okay, we're gonna let this sit right here.
What's this?
So that's the pan we're going to use to make chapati.
Okay, is this a special pan?
It is actually a special pan to me. This is what we use a lot in Kenya, but it's very special to me because it was given to me by my mother.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
So this is the only special pan that you can use for chapati? Or
No, you can use any pan, but I'm more inclined to use this one because it's heavy. Yeah. So when you make your chapati, it doesn't dry up and it doesn't come out as a hard chapati because it needs to be soft. It needs to get the right texture.
Of course, so
yes,
that,
definitely.
It won't stick into it. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So what we're going to do is basically mash that up. We'll move a bit to that side. And do you want to have a go as a first person?
Yeah, I want to have a go. Okay.
Let me take a better. Okay, I'm going to use this. All right, awesome.
Okay. So I mash it in here, right?
Okay.
Or how do I mash it?
Yeah. Okay.
Do I mash it with this or this?
So this is what you're going to use to begin with. So you're going to take a bit of your peas. So you keep doing that, but to make it a bit easier, you can also use this because it's...
I think I prefer this.
Yeah, then it's...
Yeah, much faster.
Yeah, absolutely. So hold this. Let me add a bit of salt for you. As you do it. Hang in there. Okay.
Well, I'm in the process of mashing the boiled potatoes with the sweet corn, and this is boiled and blended pumpkin leaves added to it instead.
So let me help you a little.
Okay.
Let's toss and turn this around. Just do this because... So the next thing we're going to make...
The pot is getting hot though.
Yeah, okay, so we've reduced the fire, which is good. So what we're going to do next is mix our wheat flour so that we can get the chapati.
Okay, this way, this way. Okay, so this is our wheat flour for the chapati. Okay, I know chapati is an Indian bread, sort of. The ones, almost similar to the ones that we use for
It's very close to the shawarma. Indian chapati, which is called roti.
Oh, they call it roti.
Yeah, there's roti. They have roti and chapati, which is pretty close. But we have a Kenyan chapati. Ours is slightly oilier than theirs.
Okay.
Yeah, so we use oil to make our chapati. They rarely use the oil.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm sure you use less spices because I hear Kenyans don't use a lot of spices as much as Indians do. And I also know that chapati, you can actually use sorghum and then maize.
Well, it's really
any kind of flour.
Yeah, it's really what you want. Okay. But I prefer wheat flour.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is just wash my hands. Maybe take this one off so that it doesn't get
the. Don't take that off. You're representing Kenya well. Don't take it off.
It's gonna get some flour, so I'm just gonna take it off.
So this is our wheat flour, and this once again is boiled potatoes, boiled pumpkin leaves that was blended, mixed with corn and peas, and then we mash them together. So this is what the mukimo is going to look like. So the green peas are giving it this green color, and she's preparing to come and start her chapati. This is the wheat flour. This is already on fire. It makes it quicker if you start heating your pan already to prepare the chapati in. So what next?
So you'll give me the salt.
Salt?
Yeah,
okay, that's
the salt. You get me some warm water and the milk.
Okay, let me get you milk first.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this.
Okay. So this is our warm water?
Yeah, this is our warm water.
Any particular reasons why we need warm water?
Just to help with the mixing. Okay. And then I'll also need some oil and a spoon.
So this is our cooking
So
oil.
I'll just go right ahead and do this. Just put a bit of salt, put a bit of milk. Just gonna use this. Put a bit of that.
So that's wheat flour, salt, milk, and cooking oil.
Yes, yes. And then I'm just gonna start mixing this.
Into a paste.
Okay, and we'll mix.
So is chapati, or is it eaten all over India?
Yes,
sorry, Kenya?
it is. It's not confined to any specific culture. All Kenyans enjoy chapati a lot. And it's taken with beef stew, sometimes it's taken with nyama choma.
What are some of the places you've hung out in Ghana so far since you've been here?
I've traveled to Volta, seen the Akosombo Dam, which is interesting. I've been to some of the nice hotels on that side, Royal Senchi, Ada.
Okay.
I've gone to Cape Coast, which is amazing. So I'm gonna just dampen this napkin. Just dampen it a little and cover my flour. Okay. Just
So
for a while. Yeah.
But why did you cover that though?
Oh. So I wanted to kind of
harden?
not really harden, but actually become softer.
Okay.
Yeah, like get the right texture.
Okay.
So you're gonna be chopping
the tomatoes.
the tomatoes. Yes. You have your meat ready. You can slice up your chilies as well. And what I'm going to do is begin to
Let me wash
prepare the
this.
chapati.
So if I tell you what, you know we're here at the Swiss Spirit Hotel Salisa.
Yeah.
And we have a very special head chef
Okay.
who I'll invite in to come and make sure that everything is going right, and to give us a tip or two, since he knows of
Mukimo
and chapati.
and chapati.
Okay, so Chef Michael, please, if you're here, kindly join us.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so what happened here?
So I'm just preparing
The fronts.
the landing page for the.
Chef Michael, you're welcome. You meet Madam Eva.
Hi, how are you?
And she's from Kenya.
Oh, wow.
So today we are going the Kenyan way. And I hear this is one of their famous dishes, especially eaten by the Kikuyus. And she's making mukimo with chapati and beef stew. So that is our mukimo in the process, almost ready. And that is the chapati in the making as well. So
the chapati, is it the same as the Indians one? But Indians have roti.
So it's different.
It's different.
It's slightly different because our Kenyan chapati has oil.
Oh,
Roti
yeah. Okay.
rarely has
Roti,
oil. Or if you
they
put
have-
oil,
that's
very
a little
little.
oil.
Yes.
And they normally use their fats, that hard fats. Okay, that's good. I've seen that you cover it with the cloth. You want it to set it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
we're
you're a
going
genius.
to give it a smooth texture.
that's sweet person.
But
That's good.
how much do you know of mukimo?
Mukimo, I know, you use potatoes, you use your meat greens. You Kenyans use greens a lot. That's what we Ghanaians we are like. I think we are going to
Exactly.
learn it from you.
That means we have to grow a lot of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I hear in Kenya, most homes grow what they eat.
Yeah,
So in their backyards, they have a little garden, they grow tomatoes, they grow maize, they grow beans. And so you just walk in, plug what you want, and then use it, which is very healthy.
Very healthy.
Than
But
the
it's
processed
amazing
foods.
for you to also discover that there's some Kenyans who are actually doing agriculture here in Ghana,
Okay.
which is something that is really amazing. So we're kind of borrowing the learnings from Kenya
From Kenya.
and
bringing it
transferring
here.
the skills here.
And so you can survive here then.
So because when you see
Absolutely.
most of your dishes that you cook is very green. But one thing you do while you mash the things in the pan, Because we have something called asanka and tepori.
Okay.
And which sometimes make it easier. Maybe next time when you are coming, I will introduce it to you.
Oh,
I actually introduced her to tepori already, so I have to introduce her to the asanka.
The asanka too. Yes. And it makes it very easy when you finish, then you pour it. Yeah. Maybe after.
The asanka has a rough surface, so when you're mashing it in, it's quicker.
It's quicker
to get the right texture.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I think I'm familiar with it.
Yeah,
is it the one you also use to kind of mash your ginger and garlic? Perfect. Or your no, not fufu.
Yeah, ginger, garlic.
Ginger and garlic.
And
tomato,
everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Chef, today I'll ask you to help us in the kitchen a little bit.
Okay.
So that we can be quite fast. Okay. So she needs me to cut the tomatoes. And so you can probably cut the green pepper for her. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have some chopping board here?
Yes, we do. Let me get that for you.
We'll also need a knife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll need a...
You know what, let me just leave this for you, since I'm sure you're going to cut them very fast.
Sally, have you washed all your things already?
Yes, it's been washed.
Yeah, perfect.
Unless you want me to wash it again.
Oh, no, it's okay. Once it's washed, it's okay. And let me ask Sally how you want me to cut it. Once he's on the floor cooking. Eva, how do you want me to cut it for you?
Okay.
Let's cut it into two first.
Yeah, two, and then just really squares. Once you slice it like that, you just slice it.
All right.
Yeah. That's it. And then the what's it called? The ginger and the garlic.
Okay.
We will need to crush it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm supposed to talk. No? Great.
I'm sure it's going to be my favorite part, where we get our hands dirty.
I see. Okay. I'll show you I'll show you where you need to get your hands dirty. Yeah. So I'm gonna just roll this. Oopsie.
So this is going to expand.
Yeah. Sorry. Please place this for me.
Do you need water?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Is this a specific way of cutting the tomatoes?
No, really.
Tomatoes?
Yeah.
If I didn't want the seed inside, should I remove the seed?
You can slice with the seeds.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. You can slice with the seeds.
That's good.
I thought the seeds in was not good. So which is it?
No, the seed is good. When it comes to vegetables, every aspect of the vegetables is very nutritious. So you rather have to bake it. Some people like it with the seed, some people don't like it with the seed. But with the seed, it's okay. There's nothing.
I always take off the seeds.
No.
How about if I want to eat the tomatoes raw? Can I still eat it raw with the seeds?
Yes, can you eat it with the seeds?
So you just added oil to the surface. Can I call this a bread yet?
No, not yet. So we're still in the process of achieving our chapati. So what I'm doing is, when I slice these ones up, this will give you the number of the chapatis we're going to make. Okay.
So a roll is for one person?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you could eat 2 or 3, depending on your appetite. So you have to do this together with me. So you can pick one.
So should I
yes, kindly wash your hands. And then, yeah, sure. And we can still use this surface. So I'll show you what
that's
we
going
need
to be your surface. So
no, you will use this. Okay, so I need you to, okay, let me do this. And then you can do the next one, okay? So this, and then you roll it.
Oh, this is so fancy.
Okay.
Sorry? I need another plate.
Another plate?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, just a minute. So chapatis are round. Just try and just achieve that.
So can you decide to just cut it into square by cutting the edges of the round shape?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can, but
But usually they are known to be round.
Yeah, they're known to be round. Plus, once you cook it when it's round, you can slice it up as you please. So all the squares and all the other shapes you want to achieve, you can do that. So let's do this. Let's see. So you can make a chapati at a time, or 3 or 4 at a go.
That's if the pan is large.
Not necessarily. You put one after the other, like on top of each other.
And they won't stick together. You can take them off in layers after.
Yeah. Okay. Can I do this?
So when you want to add them, do you put oil in between them?
Yeah, so you'll see how we're going to do it. Yeah.
This is almost browning.
Yeah.
Color is changing a little bit.
Okay. Can you get me a plate, please?
So do you still want your ginger and garlic mashed?
Yeah, let's kind of...
Chef, she wants it mashed, so
okay.
I think we'll probably need asanka.
Yeah, that's good. As I told you earlier that we use an asanka and the tepoli to mash our things when we are in the kitchen. So Eva, I'm going to get you the asanka and the tepoli so that I can get your things very soon for you.
Sure.
Okay, so Eva has already explained that you can actually fry 2 or 3 of this at a time, and they won't stick together because you need to put oil in between, and then you get it smooth in order for you to take it off layer by layer.
I want you to also start making the beef stew. So you're just gonna get a pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some may like it bigger than this, but because it's for a beef sauce, it's advisable to cut it into smaller sizes. So thank you very much, Chef. Okay, so what next?
Yeah, start the fire. Then you let the beef steam up by itself.
Okay.
Kind of like...
But there's no water, there's nothing in it. I should just leave it to steam like that. All right, Chef, can you help us with the fire, please? I think we should just go white a little bit.
Okay.
Should I cover it up?
Yeah, cover it.
Chef, is there anything about Kenya you'd like to know?
Yeah, Kenya, I learned they eat most of the games that we rather fear it here. Like crocodile
and the ostrich.
The ostrich,
yes.
And here it's not common.
I don't remember the last time I saw an elephant in Ghana. But they have preserved their wildlife.
But you have crocodiles in the northern region.
Yeah,
is it? Yeah, crocodiles.
We have crocodiles in Paga. It is one of our tourist sites as well.
Okay.
Which musician in particular?
I don't know.
Do you like?
Girl, I don't know.
So
I just like hip life music.
Ghana?
I just like listening to it because
But
it's
have you danced?
jazzy. Yes.
You've danced.
I
Which
have.
songs?
I know the names of the songs.
Wow, Mr. DJ, this song is, I mean, I like this. Who played it? I mean, who composed it?
I'm exposed to a lot of music. I won't really take note of every,
But I'm sure you
like
know some Ghanaian artists.
If the lyrics are good and if the meaning is also, meaningful, and the beat is nice, then I'll dance to it.
I see.
Yeah.
So I'm adding oil to the meat.
Please don't put a lot of oil.
This is beef.
Yeah.
That's fine. A little more.
Add a little more. That's it. Not so much. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, perfect.
So let the meat cook like that for a bit.
And here at the Swiss Spirit Hotel Salisa, they have the best chefs, the best cuisine, the best meals. 5-star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay?
Yeah. So let's add the
ginger.
Add all of it.
This is our ginger and garlic.
Garlic.
There's no onions. I know some of you like to add onions, but this is going in without the onions. It's just ginger and garlic, and we're adding it to our meat, which is frying in the pan.
When the fire is too much, we need to reduce it a little bit. Okay.
So you keep on stirring and stirring, so that your meat does not burn in the pan, since there's no water that has been added to it.
Then you can put our spices.
Okay, that's the Remy mixed spices. Right. Remy mixed spices. You know we have the Remy jollof. Should I add it?
Yeah, but not all of it. So you have to. That's fine. That's okay. And bring the red one.
The tomato.
The red spice there.
Okay. So what is this?
It's a spice. It's paprika.
It's paprika.
Okay.
Don't put a lot of it though. Not a lot.
So this is paprika.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put a little water there.
Got enough?
Yeah.
Or a little more?
This is fine.
Okay. So our garlic and ginger and paprika have been added to the meat on fire. And this is beef. But can you use goat meat or any other meat?
Yeah, absolutely. Goat, beef, pork, if you like.
I'm sure back in Kenya somebody would have opted for crocodile maybe.
No. Not really. Game meat is rarely cooked in people's households, yeah? Good. So what we will do now is add the onion.
All of it?
Yeah, that's it. And then you can stir.
So you keep on adding little bits of water?
Yeah, instead of adding oil. Yeah, because you don't want your food to be too oily.
Yeah.
So this is, so you can cover this up, but we have to keep checking on it because
so it doesn't burn.
Yeah.
Chef Michael, now besides the beef sauce or any meat sauce that you can do with the eggplant, what other uses are there for the eggplant?
Well, eggplant is a very delicious vegetable you can use it as a veg, cut it into pieces, cook it and eat it. Also, it's any of the vegetables like what salad, you can just, as Eva was doing, sometimes you cut it into pieces, just a little oil, a little salt and the spices, you just steam it and it's a veg for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you mean you can cut it then you boil it, add a little bit of
spices to it, and eat it, and you can add it to of your vegetable, especially when you are cooking.
But you can't eat it raw.
Every vegetable can be eaten raw.
Oh, okay.
Every vegetable, but we are not.
Pepper.
Yeah, including pepper.
Really, chef?
Everything.
Pepper, hot pepper, you can eat it raw.
You can eat it raw. Because some of the, because when we cook it, sometimes we also overcook it and we kill most of the nutrients inside. But when you can eat it, you can just cook it a little, then you can eat it. That's most of our vegetables like cabbage, carrots, and other things like you can eat it or you can also cook it.
You know, there's a joke that when West Africans go to the east or the south, where they don't eat pepper at all, they have that in one hand. So when you eat, they bite it. That is how the West Africans are surviving in the east. Okay, so we are waiting for this to...
Yeah, we have to wait for it to cook. Yeah. So because we want the meat to be tender.
Yeah. So you've added salt to it, let's not forget. She's added salt. Okay.
That's why one thing to know is about Kenya. Kenyans don't like pepper at all.
We do like pepper, but if we do, we want it very little.
Very little.
Okay, so this is the point where my excitement shoots up, when we are really close to serving our meal. Our mukimo is ready, our chapati is ready, and right now we are waiting for our beef stew sauce to be ready as well. Don't forget that as you're cooking the beef sauce, because you didn't add too much oil, you have to keep checking it and adding a little bit of water to make it a little moist for it to be tender. A big thank you once again to Hisense, proud sponsors of the African Pot. Hisense, home of affordable and quality home and kitchen appliances, and also office appliances. Now, if you want your home to look good, to feel good that you are in a home, Hisense is the place to walk into and to enapa Remy spices, there's beef spice, there's jollof spice, there's mixed spices, and then there's the special one for fish as well. Remy spices in Njagwi day. Okay, so on this note, we go for a quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere, because when you come back, the food might just be ready and you might just miss our eating it. So stay tuned. Alright folks, so welcome back. As you can see, mukimo is done, chapati is also done, and we are still on our beef stew, which they will call it the beef vegetable stew. So Eva, now that our beef is still boiling, we've added a little bit of water to just keep it still, to keep it away from being burnt. Yeah. What next? What goes into the pot next?
We need to add the tomatoes.
The tomatoes. We've not added salt to it, is that fine?
Oh, haven't we added salt? Okay, so we can add some salt as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Just enough salt to taste. And then your tomatoes. As Chef Michaels has told us from the beginning, you can cut tomatoes with the seed inside. It is still very healthy.
Stir it.
And then you stir it.
Just want to...
Okay, so she's mashing the tomatoes in it.
I'm going to add some water.
So this should be about the 6th time that she's added water, little by little, very little by little. You know, don't pour so much water in because you want it fast. Just very little.
Yeah. How much fire do we have? It's a lot of fire, right?
More fire.
Yeah, more fire. Because all I want is, the tomatoes to crush.
So in Kenya, what do you usually have as dessert after the main meal?
Dessert, just it's standard really. You could have ice cream, you could have what else do you have? You could have cake.
But Chef, what is the preferred dessert to have?
Favorite dessert, normally in Ghana we have tiger nut pudding. That's one of our favorite Ghanaian desserts that I will one day introduce you to Eva to enjoy some.
Sure, Chef Michael.
Actually, have some here at the Swiss Spirits.
Yeah, we have it here. It's one of our basic dessert. When you come to our buffet and you didn't find them, you haven't come to Swiss Spirits Hotel.
I see. Okay, so this is good enough.
Okay.
So what we can do now is add the eggplant and the chilies. Okay. Sorry.
You mentioned another name for this, Chef.
Another name, what we have, we can call it Black Beauty or Aubergine.
Aubergine or Black Beauty.
Yeah.
Why Black Beauty though?
Oh, because it's black.
It's actually purple. If I would take it like that. So should I bring the chilies?
This one's. Yeah.
These ones or
this
one? This one,
yeah.
the green
so
pepper.
The green peppers. This is not so hot as compared to the other one.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so we keep stirring it together.
I'm going to add a little bit of water.
But can you decide to add enough water so that you don't just keep adding it?
Not really, because you kind of want it to get the perfect taste each step as you go. Otherwise, you'll dilute everything, and it won't have really cooked as expected. So we're gonna stir that and then leave it out to cook for like 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Yeah. Okay.
Today on Fact File, our focus is on Kenya. Kenya is named after Mount Kenya, the second tallest mountain in Africa, which is located on the eastern coast of Africa and lies on the equator. Its capital and largest city is Nairobi. The economy of Kenya is the largest by GDP in East and Central Africa. Agriculture is a major employer. The country traditionally exports tea and coffee and has more recently begun to export fresh flowers to Europe. Here are some interesting places to visit. The wildlife safaris have been the top tourist attractions in Kenya for decades, while other activities include trekking Mount Kenya, ballooning over the Masai Mara, and snorkeling in Malindi on the Indian Ocean coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we took you all the way to East Africa, precisely Kenya, and showed you how to prepare mukimo, chapati, and our beef sauce. And it's all ready, as you can see. Chef?
Perfect.
Perfect?
I can feel it.
This is already looking so good, and I can't wait to taste this. This is going to be my first Kenyan meal. And so, are you ready to eat?
Sure.
You're ready.
Okay, let's head to the dining then.
Cool.
They say there's no weed when it comes to food. So whenever you see me sitting here on this dining table at the plush 5-star Swiss Spirit Hotels Alisa, I have no friends, I have no family. I dine alone. But I'll make an exception because a beautiful woman, Eva, has prepared this dish that you see here from Kenya. There's mukimo, and then there's chapati, and of course, we are having it with the beef vegetable sauce. And of course, we also have the ever able chef, Chef Michaels. The table is set. Okay, so how do we dish this? Is there any special way of doing it?
No, not really. Just have a portion of the mukimo, roll up a chapati, and then stew on the side, and you dig in.
Okay, so I think you should...
So Eva will do it for us.
Yes, you should take the lead with that, and then we'll follow.
I see. Do you want me to serve you, or will you serve yourselves?
Actually, serve me, please.
Yeah? I'm just going to use this one.
So that means that you can have the with our hands or spoons?
Yeah, so you'll eat chapati with your hands and the stew and mukimo with your spoon.
Spoons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pick your chapati, break it.
You break it.
Yeah.
From Eva today?
Yeah. I think the new thing that I learned when he's doing this thing with the two sides, I normally do it once, one on the back. I've learned that because he's food, he have the techniques than me. So I've learned that techniques. The next time when I'm preparing chapati or roti, when I want it fast, I'll do 2 together.
Yeah, you can do 2, you can do 5.
5,
yeah.
Wow.
You just have to make sure that you get the texture of the dough right.
I obviously need more time behind the scenes to finish this my way. But Eva, I have a very special gift for you from Hisense, one of our sponsors. I'm presenting to you, this is called King Kong. It's the latest phone from Hisense. And so you're going to be one of the first users of this very model. So this is from us from African Cuisine. So thank you very much for introducing us to mukimo and chapati and your delicious beef vegetable stew. We highly appreciate it.
Yes. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
And I'll also like to ask you for a dance to your favorite song. Mansa. But before we dance, I'd like to say a big thank you once again to all our sponsors who made this show possible. Hisense, home of quality and affordable appliances, to Remy Spices, Remy in the Ghanaian Day, and of course to Enapa Day, Soko. And a special one to the Swiss Spirit Hotels Alisa, where we are at the moment and where our kitchen is located. Beautiful place. This is the place to come to when you need to relax, when you need to bring your family on vacation. Look no further. Alisa Hotel, Swiss Spirits, it's your last stop to be. Okay, so on this note, I'd like to say a very big thank you for joining us. And I'm sure we've also realized that the diversity of a first-time visitor in Kenya and what to do is obviously dazzling. So when next you want to visit any place in Africa and have a good time, think Kenya, think safari, think wildlife, and enjoy yourself. And the meal, superb. Thank you once again for joining us. Eva? Shall we dance?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. DJ. Okay, let me teach you how to do the robot. You know? So show me what you have.
You're done.
But I'm teaching you the robot dance. Follow my lead. Go you.